So we're here with actor Alexander Flores. Why don't you give us a little bit of background of when you first decided you wanted to do this full time, what your first roles were, and go from there.
Okay. I started out in school plays when I was about 7 in the 3rd grade. I really didn't do well in academics, at least at that age. And I was kind of the talkative kid, and my principal at the time was very supportive of me and really wanted me to do well in school. And she noticed that I was really interested in the whole like acting and the school plays. And there was one time I did a small part, and some kid got sick, and I had to memorize everyone's lines. And I took over for him and my role, and it was I was 7, but it was a lot of fun.
Hey,
yeah,
it's a lot of pressure.
Exactly, right? And The Lion King was coming to Broadway, and they were looking in schools, and my principal thought it would be great for me to audition, and I don't think I did, but it was something that I really wanted to do, and I had told my mom, and we worked on it a few times, and after that she asked me if I wanted to pursue it a bit, and I said yes. I was a kid, and she put me in acting classes, and from there on I loved it. It became something I just grew to love even more.
And excelled at, obviously.
Oh, completely. I mean, I wouldn't say in the beginning I wasn't as great. I wasn't as good.
Right out of 7th grade,
right
you won an Oscar.
Exactly. No, I mean, I was pretty bad, I'm sure. But I really enjoyed doing that. I like playing around with different characters, and I was able to be as loud as I wanted to be.
So your first foray into episodic television was Rescue Me, where you played Ricky for a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was really fun. When I auditioned for it, I just went in and I did whatever I wanted to do. I walked in and I just had confidence. I just had fun with it. And when I got the role, it was playing baseball. My first setup was playing baseball in front of Dennis Leary. And,
and you didn't have to draw on that from high school because you didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Sports.
It wasn't. I was. My high school was a performing arts high school.
Oh, well, then there was definitely no baseball.
We didn't really have a team anywhere. No. But I do like sports, and I like playing baseball, but I hadn't played in a while. And one of the first setups was actually like someone pitching the ball at me, just like knocking it out, and then having to like turn around and run toward Dennis Leary and the other people in the scene with me, and then just like hanging out with the priest. That was really fun, but I was really scared in the beginning. I was like, all right, I have to hit this, I have to run around, then I gotta come back, and then I start the scene.
And then you did an episode of The Sopranos, but you also had movie work under your belt by those points as well.
Some independent roles.
Yeah. What was it like working on an independent film, as a lot of actors do when they start out?
I really like independent film. I feel like you do a lot more interesting work. Sometimes you get a new director, a new writer, and everyone's really involved in the entire process, and you just, I don't know, it was a really great feel. Like the first independent film I really did was The Whackness.
Okay.
And I had one scene in it, and I had like 2 lines, and the director was really cool. He was really down to earth, and I was there early in the morning, and we shot late at night, so I got to like stand by for a couple hours and watch the process. And when you watch the process of an independent film on a low budget, and everyone's like working hard, everyone's involved, everyone wants the job to be great. Yeah, that was really inspiring. And
it kind of bonds everybody that's in the movie together, because you're all going for one goal. Not that the big Hollywood blockbusters aren't, but at the same time, they may have their own stakes in it, where when you're doing an independent film, it's more of a camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were in, quite a few movies, Delivery Man and Home, and were they all independent films?
Home was.
Home was, okay.
Home was very independent, and I was there a few days. I was a supporting role in that film, and it was a lot of fun. I had to play someone who was schizophrenic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you research the role by watching YouTube videos?
Not so much.
No. You're schizophrenic.
Yeah, I'm schizophrenic. No, the writer, director, he did a lot of research beforehand, and met a nurse who was very awesome and came in every few days and just like spoke to us. On our first table read, a couple of the people who were in the group home playing mentally ill patients stuck around, and we got to ask as many questions, and she gave us places to go visit. We got to visit some group homes firsthand and see people and just like talk to other people who work in the homes and some of the patients, and get a feel for the humanity of it all.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. But Delivery Man was more of a big Hollywood picture, it seemed. Vince Vaughn. Super cool.
He's nobody.
Yeah, no.
You call that a Hollywood picture?
No.
Stop name dropping.
I don't mean to.
Yeah.
That was great. Like I had one scene with Vince Vaughn, and we got to improvise a bit, and that was completely like a dream come true. He's amazing. I got to go to the table read for that film, and I said one of my lines I said and during the table read, and he laughed, and I immediately like couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's
oh no,
a big deal.
I made Vince Vaughn laugh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, especially since he's a comedic actor and all. Yeah, it had to be funny, and the delivery had to be spot on.
Yeah.
So you just completed production on The Maze Runner. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that production?
That was one of the first gigs I've ever done on a major feature film where I was involved long term. Like I was there for 2.5 months in Louisiana shooting with 13 cast members, all relatively young. We were all about the same age, and it was all dudes and one girl, and we bonded immediately, and that really helped us. It's great to do a film, and it's also great to do a film where every actor has each other's back, and that's what I got from that. Like we all had each other's back, and even the producers and the whole crew, like everyone really wanted to be there and wanted to make this a great project. And I think it will be.
What was the culture shock going from New York to Louisiana for that long? Because it's probably a bit different, a little slower in pace.
A bit. we shot in Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we ventured out a few times to New Orleans, the cast, to get a feel for the city. But a lot of the time we were in our hotel and driving around Baton Rouge and just hanging out in our hotel.
So what did you think of Bourbon Street?
Bourbon Street was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you didn't get it. You didn't get it during the Mardi Gras, so you had a little bit easier of a time navigating.
And that's saying something, because if Mardi, we were there and it was pretty rowdy. I can imagine what Mardi Gras is like, and it must be so much fun.
Yeah.
Because we had a great time just hanging out, but I can't imagine Mardi Gras.
It's like a little bit bigger than San Gennaro in New York in terms of the amount of people crammed into one block. Yeah.
Kind of avenue.
It's like one continuous person. If you don't like crowds, it's not the place to be.
I mean,
so,
it was fun.
Are you interested in doing Broadway or off-Broadway, or are you sticking primarily to movies?
I mean, right now I'm focusing on film and television, but I started out as a theater actor, which I didn't think I was going to, because as a kid I didn't think. I always thought Broadway was all musicals, and I wasn't very musical. Like I don't sing very well or dance very well, but so I had a different idea when I was younger, and then the first off-Broadway play I did was with the Labyrinth Theater Company here in New York, and it was at the Public Theater, and at the time I didn't understand how awesome that is, and I just knew that I was doing a really fun piece that was really strong and very, very sad, but at the same time just a lot of fun work, and I got really involved with theater after that. I stayed friends with the company for 9 years now, and I do as much as I can with them.
Now, do you attack film roles differently than theater, since they're a live performance and you really can't have a do-over?
I don't know, it depends. The way I go about a character or a specific role is, it changes every time. Like depending on who I'm playing, it's one of those things where if I have to do research, I do research. Otherwise, I'm just I'm looking at the situation and trying to play the situation, and not so much try to play a mood or anything. You know what I mean?
What role tested you the most as an actor that you've had?
That's a hard question.
That's why I asked it.
Yeah, there's a lot. There are a few roles that I really enjoy playing. I guess the first off-Broadway show I ever did, because with the Labyrinth Theater Company, because I was 14 playing a mute child to a family who's been just like has fallen apart. And my father's character had gone off to Afghanistan and fought in the war, and he's come back, and him and my mother have separated because of his anger issues and his abuse, and all the things that affected him at war. And I was 14, smoking cigarettes on stage, like just trying to stay in the mindset of a kid whose family has fallen apart.
And you're mute the entire time,
yeah,
so that's got to be even harder to try and portray the emotion of a character, and you can't say anything.
Exactly.
If anything, that's got to be.
It was very hard to stay in it,
and
not like physically want to just react and like blurt something out.
Exactly. And like the only time I ever spoke was at the end of the show. I had a monologue to close the show, and every other time I'm on stage, I'm just standing or sitting or smoking a cigarette or bouncing a ball and just being. I thought that really tested my focusing skills.
That's got to be hard.
Yeah, it was hard, but it was again just a lot of fun.
Challenging.
Yeah.
That's what being an actor means, right?
Exactly.
What advice would you give to someone who is starting out in the business? You've come a long way from when you started, obviously, and you've been on a different journey than everybody else. Everybody's journey is different, I should say. That's
exactly.
what I meant.
I don't know. I feel like I'm too young to give advice to anyone. But if you're gonna listen to me,
then you better give it up altogether.
I don't know. But I don't know.
Well, something that you've been taught or that has really gotten you through on a set or doing the theater.
I guess any advice I'd give is to just take any role, any opportunity, not role, but any opportunity you have to like act for someone is something you should, you should respect and honor the fact that they're having you come in to audition for them or work for them. You want to give your best every single time. I think that's something everyone should take into consideration. That everyone wants, like when you go into a room to audition, everyone wants you to be there. So it's up to you whether you're gonna take it or lose it.
Yeah.
Just go in and have fun and just do your best.
Thank you so much, Alexander, for taking the time to do this.
Thank you.
We look forward to the Maze Runner coming out.
Sweet.
And hopefully we'll catch up then.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.